Hi, I'm Evro, studying MNG Computing with a focus on AI and machine learning.
I'm Minachi Sundram, and I'm currently studying BEng Computing.
Hi, I'm Jenny, and currently I'm studying Bachelor's of Engineering of Computing.
I'm Wilson, and I'm currently studying for a MNg in Computing.
I'm from Singapore.
So I'm from Singapore. I was born and raised here.
I am from Singapore.
I'm currently in year 2.
I'm in year 2.
And I'm currently a year 2.
I am in year 2.
I love knitting and crochet, as well as reading manga, going to cafes, drinking bubble tea, and console games.
I like to watch films, listen to songs, and cook.
So I like to read, and sometimes I take care of my plants, where I've picked up gardening as a hobby.
Well, ever since I entered university, I have started learning Japanese casually. So I am currently doing some vocabulary exercises and watching videos in my spare time. It was originally called the Outreach Activity Tracker, but we shortened it to just Outreach.
So the purpose of the project was that we wanted a centralized platform to manage all the DoC outreach projects, so that the person in charge of DoC outreach project can easily see all the projects that's happening, and also project coordinators can easily document their own efforts and advertise to volunteers.
This project was one of a few projects that was pitched to us by the Department of Computing, and it was really interesting for us as we were able to enact real impact within the Imperial community.
Well, since we are dealing with actual college users, we have to connect to college authentication servers and ensure the encryption of our website via HTTPS. So since most of us have never dealt with these kinds of technologies practically before, there was a lot of learning that we had to do. The site also requires users to, or not requires, the site also allows users to upload their resources such as code and PDFs, for example. So dealing with storage, so we initially used Amazon storage, but we discovered that it was not scalable at all because you have to pay, and so we scrapped it for local storage.
Our platform will make it easier for coordinators to manage their project, upload resources, and call for volunteers all on a single platform. We hope that it will encourage more people to start an outreach project or join one during their time here at Imperial. Moreover, the Outreach Activity Tracker will make it easier for DoC Outreach IC to keep track of all existing projects without much additional work.
So firstly, our first stakeholder was the person in charge of outreach, which is Jackie Bell. So she's the person in charge of all the outreach activities happening in DoC, and she provides personalized assistance to the development and execution of each outreach project. So on top of all this, she also tracks each project's progress, the materials used, and each session's feedback. And the second stakeholder that we are working with are the project coordinators. So staff project coordinators include Anatha and Ben, while the student project coordinators that we are working with is Ellie. So these project coordinators, they organize outreach projects in DoC, and they oversee their implementation, execution, and gather feedback for their projects. So they work together with Jackie throughout their project. And in this process, they also have to gather volunteers and set up the materials needed for their project. The third stakeholder that we are working with are the potential volunteers. So one student volunteer that we are working with is Lydia. So she's interested in volunteering for an outreach project, and she's unsure of what are all the opportunities available. So she wants to find a project that she's interested in, get more information, and apply to be a volunteer.
It was really interesting to interview Jackie and also past and present coordinators from the Department of Computing outreach team. And it was really interesting for us to find out how they do the outreach projects currently and where we could go in and automate certain things or make things a lot easier by creating the website platform that we created. Although it was a bit daunting that we were actually working on a real project that would be deployed within Imperial, having outreach activity team members like Madasar and also Jackie made us feel a lot more at ease and gave us confidence that we will be presenting a good product to them.
Well, based on their initial reactions and feedback, they have been very excited at finally having a platform to upload their resources. And I would say they have also been quite impressed with our user interface. So we are quite happy.
This is the homepage of the Outreach Activity Tracker. We can search for existing projects by clicking on the filters here to narrow our search options. Let's say we want to find a project about robotics, which deals with primary age children. We can also click on this button to narrow down the projects to those which are looking for volunteers. So this project looks quite interesting. We can click on the card to view more information about the project, or navigate to the Resources tab to view the resources for the whole project as well as for the respective sessions. We can also go to the Sessions tab to view all the available sessions. And if this is something that we are interested in, we can then click on any of the buttons here and be taken to the project sign-up form. Or if we have more questions, we can go back to the information page and click on the buttons here to email the respective coordinators for more information. So that's just a brief overview of how outreach can connect potential volunteers to projects.
Thank you so much for all your work on this. It looks fantastic, and I'm as excited as Madasar that if we can get this up and running for real, it would be great. It'd make my life a lot easier.
Yeah, it looks really nice. I like the style. I like the background and stuff.
So currently, the website is already being run by DoC, and it is publicly accessible. Hence, all DoC students and staff can actually log into the website and start using the features. In future, as we'll still be in Imperial, we aim to remain as maintainers for this platform. However, currently we have handed the platform over to the webmaster to integrate it with the existing EdTech family.
Yes, I'll be doing a UROP project in the computational privacy group under Dr. Eva.
So my plan was that I will be doing a UROP under the Adaptive and Intelligent Robotics Lab, which is headed by Dr. Antoine Kali, on the effects of stochasticity, inequality, diversity, reinforcement algorithm.
I will be doing a student shapers project with our webmaster, Ivan, and Director of Software Engineering, Robert Chatley, together with fellow students like myself. And we'll be working on the educational technology family of services that the Department of Computing uses on a regular basis.
Well, I personally prefer having physical lectures since we can clarify our doubts with the lecturer on the spot. However, I realized that online lectures do have their plus points. So for example, I can watch the recordings wherever I want to and pause the recordings whenever I need to. However, the main issue I had was that the lecture uploading schedule wasn't really clear or told to us in advance, so it was difficult to plan ahead when to watch the lectures. As for working remotely, we avoided most of the time zone issues since our entire group is in the same country. However, because we are 8 hours ahead of London, our assessed presentations are all in the evening for us, so it did affect my sense of time a fair bit.
I think that this course was not particularly affected by being run online, as most of the work done was done individually anyway. But one of the main disadvantages was that we were unable to sit down and talk to the stakeholders in real life. But having good video conferencing applications made us make the best of what we could do. Also, having dedicated instructors during the clinic hours was also very good for us, as we made use of it as well.
So I thought that the online lectures and tutorials were very easy to follow, as we were regularly updated on Piazza. However, given the delay in online communication, some details were not sufficiently communicated to us. For example, we were unsure of what to expect during the first code review. And that given that we could code individually, working remotely was not a problem, and we could use online platforms such as Teams to meet up. So, and I think a further advantage was that having UI testings online actually gave us a lot more ease in recording it, and when we presented the evidence, we had a fixed layout to it. One setback, however, could be that we were in very different time zones from London, so then some of our meetings were scheduled at odd timings, either for the other party or for us.
Well, I could say that the course has transitioned pretty smoothly to remote learning, as you could expect from a computing course. Lectures are uploaded early each week, so I enjoyed the flexibility of watching them in my own time. When it comes to remote collaboration, especially since this is a group project, the online communication tools such as Microsoft Teams can be quite clunky at times, but they do get the job done in the end. So another thing that could be difficult, is time zones. So because we have to schedule interviews with our users who are in a different time zone, we have interviews scheduled late in the night in our time zone.